Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Slash Straight. This board features directional cam rocker, so you have more rocker in the nose, camber through the middle, and a little bit of rocker in the tail. That's going to give you all the load, pop, snap, and drive of traditional camber, but you're going to have ease of entry in and out of turns, as well as more optimal powder float from those rocker sections. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that was sunny bluebird. You had cold temps, you had some dust that had fallen on top of the snow the day before, you had heavy baked pow, some chopped chunder, perfect corduroy, a little bit of ice, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. The overall flex of this board sits firmly in the free ride category. It is directional, so that does mean slightly softer, progressively stiffening back up to the tail. The one thing that you will notice is the rocker zones do give flex points to this board, so you can get a little flap in the tail and the nose at high speeds, more so in the tail I noticed than the nose. The nose wants to stay firmly locked down, and when you get into choppy terrain, this board just crushes it. It wants to stay on top of it and plow through everything in its path. It's like a missile. It just wants to keep going and not worry about what's in front of it. You really don't feel any chatter resonating back up underfoot. More so, this board is just smooth and damp. With this board being cam rocker, you get a skate-like pop, which means you don't have to overly think how you're gonna load it up to pop off something. You can just sort of roll back on the tail, it engages that rocker, and then it springs you. You still have to be slightly on top of it, paying a little bit of attention, but not so much where you're like, oh, I've got to bring everything I've got to it and just go for it. This board will pop if you want it to pop. Yeah, I didn't even try to butter this thing. I don't know why you would, but you can. I didn't. That's just who I am. One thing to note when you carve with this board is that it's a little slow off the front foot. It just does not engage as quickly as it could. But when you get up to speed and you're driving it from the center back, that's when it really comes alive and it really lets you carve with it. That traction bump in the middle does give you that added grip. But like I said, when you're trying to steer it from the front, it's haphazard. You get bucked around, it kind of just doesn't really want to stay locked in. It's only when you get up to speed and you really are railing it with the front foot disengaged that you notice it. And that kind of leaves you needing more on this board at slower speeds. It's not going to be good at those short, tight, quick carves. It's better at those big, deep, hard, aggressive carves or those long, drawn-out ones at speed. You'll notice that. This board has a ton of power out of that tail, and it wants you to use it and utilize it and engage it. Who's this board for? The free ride, powerhouse charging guy that's just going to dominate everything in his path. This is a lot of board if you get into mellower terrain or tight trees. You're throwing it around, you're really working for it. When you get into wide open, more steep terrain, it really comes alive. This board wants to go fast. It wants to haul ass. It wants to lay a trench, but you need that speed and that space to do it. If you don't, it's a workout. And this board really gave me a harsh workout. Comparable boards, the GNU Banked Country, the Amplid Soli Grail, the Korua Pencil Plus. Binding recommendations: the Union Atlas Pro, the Ride A10, the Now Drive CX. This has been my review of the Slash Straight. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you gonna buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you wanna support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and check it out. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.